Hello, I'm Katy Staples and I'm the advisor for Bristol Diocese, and I also am the author of Goodness and Mercy, which is a website that I'm hoping will be able to help you in delivering your relationship, sex and health education in your Church of England school. Let's be pragmatic. A lot of the real reason for this website is to meet the needs of the DfE statutory guidance for schools. So this diagram shows you what the DfE is requiring. And what you can see is that it's a spiral curriculum where pupils will revisit the same themes in an age-appropriate way. So how can we make sure our relationship, sex and health education is rooted in our Christian foundation? One of the documents that's key for us is the Charter for Relationships Education for Church of England Schools. This can be found under the National Guidance tab on the website. What this outlines for us is the expectations that children will be treated and our relationships education will be founded on the basis that every child is made in the image of God. But we also want to have relationships education that is both faith sensitive and inclusive. What we mean by that is that we need to be sensitive to the different faiths in our classrooms and their different opinions about relationships and sex, but also that we want to be sensitive to our LGBT plus families and children. The other element about distinctiveness that's important for us will be inspected through the SIAMS inspection process under the strand 5, dignity and respect, in which they're asking questions about whether your relationship, sex and health education is going to provide children with an ability and an understanding that they should cherish themselves and honour others. One of the unique selling points for our relationships education must be that as a church schools, our foundation believes in a God who seeks to have relationships with people, and a God who will never fail and will never stop loving and is always there for you. There's also the whole idea of being created, that everybody is created and therefore you are special and you should be protecting yourself from any danger. But also you should be treating others as if they are special too. The next thing is that we're all fallen. You know, we all muck up, we make mistakes, we hurt each other, we hurt ourselves. But that there is within the big story of Christianity the idea of forgiveness, and that's really important as we offer children our idea about what relationships is about. So that's all very good, we've got the theory, but how does this website actually help you in applying all of this? Well, some of it is about how you all engage with your governors, and in the Headteachers and Senior Leadership tab under there's about planning a governors meeting. There's also under the Subject Leaders tab, we have information to help you plan a staff meeting. You can see progression grids for health education, for relationships education and sex education, and you can then make sure your current provision meets the DfE needs, but also meets the Church of England needs. Another really useful resource that people have given me good feedback on are the knowledge organisers, and these can be found under the Teaching Resources tab. What these provide you with is just 2 sides of A4 that says what needs to be taught by the end of Key Stage 1, and then underneath you have all the vocabulary and the technical vocabulary that's required by the DfE and required for them being able to have good RSHE, and then the Church of England distinctive vocabulary under that. Then you also have got under the teaching resources possible activity plan, and what you have there is possible lessons that you could use, and if you used would help you meet the requirements both of the DfE and of SIAMS and of your church foundation. So where does this all sit within the whole life of your school? This diagram in a way helps you understand that. As a child enters a school and speaks to the receptionist, from that moment they will know whether your school is cherishing them and seeing them as an incredible person. And if that is not their experience, it will counteract what you're trying to teach in terms of relationships. And in the middle of that sits your excellent RSHE work within your PSHE curriculum that relates to worship and to everything. Thank you very much for being interested in this resource, and I do hope that goodness and mercy will follow you all the days of your life, and indeed for your pupils.